It was 3:42 a.m. when the elevator lit up. In a building with no power, Marcus wasn't supposed to be there that late. The demolition company had strict rules. No solo inspections after midnight, no entering sealed floors, and absolutely no use of the old elevators. But Marcus had been behind schedule all week, and if he didn't finish documenting the upper floors of the abandoned hospital by morning, he'd lose the contract. So he broke the rules. The hospital had been closed for over 15 years. Mold clung to the ceilings. The walls peeled like old skin, and every step echoed like something was listening. Marcus kept telling himself it was just a job, just empty rooms, just a dead building. He reached the elevator lobby on the 6th floor and froze. The indicator above the rusted doors flickered. 7, 6, 5, descending. That's not possible, he muttered. The power had been cut weeks ago. Still, the numbers kept ticking down. 4, 3, 2. The air grew colder, not the kind of cold from weather, something deeper, like the building itself had started breathing. The elevator dinged. The doors slid open with a metallic groan. Inside, the lights flickered dimly, yellow and weak, but unmistakably on. Marcus stepped back. Nope. Nope. I'm not doing this. But then he noticed something. The floor indicator inside didn't show numbers. It showed names, burned into the metal panel. Ward A, surgery, children, basement. The last one wasn't a floor. It just said, return. The doors began to close. Instinctively, Marcus reached out and stopped them. That was his mistake. The doors jerked open again. Wider this time, as if inviting him. Something deep in his chest twisted. A pull, not curiosity. Something stronger. Like the building was recognizing him. He stepped inside. The doors slammed shut behind him. Immediately, the elevator dropped. Not smoothly. It fell. Marcus hit the wall as the lights cut out. Darkness swallowed everything. Then, ding! The lights came back on. The doors opened. He was back on the 6th floor. Same hallway. Same broken tiles. Same graffiti. Marcus exhaled sharply. Okay, just a glitch. He stepped out, and that's when he noticed the gurney. It hadn't been there before. Rusty, bent, a thin mattress stained with something dark, and on top of it, a clipboard. Marcus picked it up. His name was on it. Patient, Marcus Hale. Status, admitted time, 3:42 a.m. His throat tightened. Footsteps echoed behind him, slow, dragging. He turned. At the end of the hallway, something stood in the shadows, not fully visible, but tall, too tall, its head almost brushing the ceiling. Marcus backed away. The elevator dinged again. The doors were open, waiting. He didn't hesitate this time. He ran inside and hit every button. The doors slammed shut. The elevator rose. Faster this time. Too fast. The numbers flashed wildly. 2, 9, 1, 13, 6, then stopped. The panel changed again. Not floors anymore. Words. You left before. Marcus felt his stomach drop. What? The lights flickered, and suddenly, he remembered. Not clearly, just flashes. A hospital bed. Voices. Machines beeping. A sense of falling. The panel changed again. You always come back. The elevator dinged. The doors opened, but it wasn't the hospital anymore. It was a clean hallway. Bright lights. Modern. Doctors rushing past. Marcus stumbled out. Hello, what is this? No one acknowledged him. It was like he wasn't there. He looked through a nearby window. A patient lay in bed, unconscious, tubes everywhere. Marcus stepped closer and felt his breath leave his body. It was him, older, paler, barely alive. A nurse walked in, checked the monitor, shook her head. Marcus pounded on the glass. No, I'm right here, I'm not. The monitor went silent, a long, continuous tone, flatlining. The nurse turned away. Time of death, 3:42 a.m. Marcus staggered back. The hallway flickered. Reality peeled away, and suddenly, he was back in the elevator. The panel now read only one word: return. The doors never opened again. They say the hospital was demolished a week later. No one ever found Marcus, but sometimes, late at night, construction workers swear they hear an elevator ding from beneath the ground. The first time Liam entered room 214, the door disappeared behind him. He had been exploring an abandoned apartment complex scheduled for demolition, a massive concrete block left untouched for decades after a fire drove everyone out. Urban explorers online called it the Hollow. Liam didn't believe in ghosts. He believed in views, and this place was perfect for content. He filmed everything: broken staircases, burned walls, old belongings left behind like people had vanished mid-life. Then he found room 214. Unlike every other apartment, its door was intact, clean, untouched, no dust, no burn marks, just a plain wooden door with the number nailed perfectly straight. "Okay, that's weird," Liam whispered to the camera. He pushed it open. Inside, the room was normal, too normal. Fresh paint, a bed neatly made, a lamp glowing softly. The air smelled clean, like someone still lived there. Liam stepped inside. The door clicked shut behind him. He turned. The door was gone. Just a blank wall. No, 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 no. He spun around, panic rising. The room hadn't changed. Still quiet, still clean. But now, there was a second bed. Across from the first, unmade, sheets twisted, like someone had just gotten up. Liam grabbed his camera. "This isn't funny. If someone's here, I'm recording." The lamp flickered, and then a voice, soft, from behind him. "You weren't supposed to come back." Liam froze, slowly turned. No one. But the second bed, the sheets were moving, as if something invisible had just sat down. Liam backed away. His breathing quickened. This is staged. This has to be staged. The wall shifted. Not physically, but wrong. Like perspective itself was bending. The room stretched, then snapped back. The lamp turned off. Darkness. Then the door was back, across the room. Liam ran for it, grabbed the handle. It wouldn't open. The voice again, closer this time. "You always try to leave." Liam turned and saw himself standing in the corner, staring, expressionless. Same clothes, same camera. But his double looked empty, hollow. "You left me here," the double said. Liam shook his head. "That's not real." The double stepped forward. "You got out. I didn't." Memories hit him, suddenly, violently. Years ago, as a kid, he had gotten lost in an apartment building during a fire. He had hidden in a room, waiting, hearing voices, calling for help. But he never answered. He ran instead, left, survived, but something else stayed. The room twisted again. Now both beds were unmade. The walls cracked, burn marks spreading, smoke filling the air. The double smiled. "You don't get to leave twice." The door vanished again. The fire grew louder, the heat unbearable. Liam screamed, and then silence. The building was demolished the next month. Workers reported something strange. Room 214 still existed, buried within the rubble, intact, untouched, with two bodies inside, both identical, one older, one younger, both reaching toward a door that wasn't there. At exactly 2:17 a.m, the cameras started recording something that wasn't there. Elif worked night security at an abandoned shopping mall. It was an easy job. Sit, watch screens, do rounds. Nothing ever happened until the cameras glitched. At first, it was subtle. A flicker on camera 12, then camera 7, then all of them. Elif leaned forward. Great, system's dying. But then she noticed something. The timestamps didn't match. Camera 3 showed 2:17 a.m. Camera 4 showed 2:18. Camera 5, 2:16. They were out of sync. That shouldn't happen. Then camera 9 changed. The feed zoomed in on its own, down a dark corridor, and stopped. "Elif," a voice whispered through the speakers. She froze. No audio system existed in the building. Only cameras. Only visuals. "Elif." Her name echoed again. From every speaker, the screens flickered, and suddenly, every camera showed the same thing. Her, sitting in the security room, but from behind, as if something was standing right behind her chair, slowly watching. Elif didn't move. Her breath became shallow. The version of her on the screen tilted its head, then smiled. But Elif wasn't smiling. The lights in the room flickered. The monitors went black. Then one came back on. Camera 1. Main entrance. A figure stood outside the mall. perfectly still, facing the doors. Elif zoomed in. It was her, standing outside, looking in. The real Elif turned slowly toward the door behind her. A knock, soft, 3 times. The camera feed flickered again. Now it showed the security room from inside, but empty. Her chair, her desk. No Elif. The knock came again, louder. Then the door handle began to turn. The footage cut. In the morning, her replacement arrived. The security room was empty, monitors still on, recording, every screen showing the same still image, a hallway, and at the end of it, Elif, standing perfectly still, facing the camera. Timestamp, 2:17 a.m. Every day, forever. There is no 13th floor in the building, but the staircase says otherwise. Denny's was documenting abandoned government buildings when he found it. A concrete office block sealed off after an incident no one would explain. The blueprints were public. 12 floors. That was it. When Dennis climbed the stairs, he counted 13. At first, he thought he miscounted, so he went back down, counted again. The door at the top was labelled 13, painted over, scratched, like someone tried to erase it. Dennis smiled. Hidden floor? That's gold. He opened the door. Inside, office space, desks, computers, lights on, everything intact, but covered in dust, like time had stopped midday. Coffee cups still on desks, chairs slightly pulled back, as if people had just left. Dennis walked in. His footsteps echoed too loudly. The door shut behind him. Of course it did. He turned, still there. Good. He relaxed slightly, then noticed the clocks, all of them, stopped. At the same time, 3:42 a.m., a computer screen flickered, turned on by itself. Text appeared. You found it again. Dennis frowned. Again. The lights dimmed. A hum filled the air. Low. Vibrating. Like something waking up. The computers turned on, one by one, all displaying the same message. You should not remember this. Dennis backed toward the door. It was gone. Just like the others. A pattern. Always the door. The hum grew louder. The walls seemed to breathe. And then, people appeared. Not fully. Shadows. Sitting at desks. Typing. Working. Repeating the same motions. Over and over. Looping. Dennis watched in horror. One of them stopped. Slowly turned toward him. Its face blurred. Unfinished. You came back early, it said. Dennis shook his head. I've never been here. The shadow stood. Walked toward him. You always say that. Memories flickered. Not his, but someone else's. Working late. Finding something. Opening something. A floor that wasn't supposed to exist. The hum became a roar. The shadows began to glitch, breaking, reforming. You weren't supposed to leave with it, the shadow whispered. Dennis felt something in his pocket. A key. Old, rusty. He didn't remember picking it up, but it was there. The shadow smiled. Now we reset again. Everything went dark. When Dennis woke up, he was at the base of the staircase. Camera still recording. No 13th floor, just 12. He checked the footage. Nothing unusual, until the last frame. A single image, an office, lights on, and Dennis, sitting at a desk, working, like he'd never left. They demolished the building months later, but sometimes, in newly built offices nearby, employees report something strange. Their computers turn on at 3:42 a.m. and display a message. You found it again.